Hello and welcome to Facts and Videos. 101 creepy random facts that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Number 1. After your heart stops beating, your brain cells don't immediately die. It can take several minutes for brain activity to cease completely. In some cases, the brain can remain aware of what's happening for up to 10 seconds, meaning that in the brief moments after death, you could have the terrifying awareness that you're dead. Imagine being able to hear or see what's going on around you, just long enough to know you've passed away. Number 2. Mount Everest is the world's highest graveyard. Over 300 climbers have died while attempting to reach its summit, and the majority of their bodies remain on the mountain. Due to the extreme cold and difficulty of retrieval, the corpses are left where they fall, preserved in the ice and snow. Some have even become macabre landmarks for other climbers, such as green boots, the body of a climber whose frozen remains are passed by almost everyone ascending the mountain. Number 3. When someone is dying, the senses gradually shut down in a specific order. Vision goes first, followed by taste and smell. But hearing and touch are typically the last to fade. This means that even if someone appears unconscious or on the verge of death, they may still be able to hear their loved ones speaking or feel a gentle touch. In some cases, people on the brink of death have reported hearing everything around them while they were seemingly gone. Number 4. If you wear a glass which vertically inverts your vision long enough, your brain will correct it and you'll see things normal. But when you take those glasses off, everything will look upside down again until your brain recalibrates again to how things were. Number 5. You might think of yourself as a single organism, but in reality, you're more of a walking ecosystem. For every human cell in your body, there are at least 10 bacterial cells. That means you are vastly outnumbered by bacteria, which live on your skin, in your gut, and practically everywhere else. These microbes are essential for your health, helping you digest food and protect against disease. But the sheer number of them makes you wonder, who's really in control here? Number 6. After death, the body undergoes a series of changes called rigor mortis, where the muscles stiffen. However, as decomposition progresses, the body can exhibit what appears to be movement. As gases build up in the body, limbs may twitch or change position slightly, and this can lead to the unsettling sight of a corpse appearing to sit up or move. It's not the soul re-entering the body, but the result of chemical processes and decomposition. Number 7. The front of your tongue is known to be curious, constantly patrolling, and autonomous. It moves around when the dentist is around your mouth and you aren't even aware of it. Number 8. In extremely rare cases, insects like spiders and flies have been found living inside human bodies, particularly in the nasal passages or ears. For instance, there have been reports of people complaining of headaches or strange sensations, only to find that a spider or cockroach had crawled into their ear and was living there. In one documented case, a woman went to the hospital with severe ear pain, and doctors found a live spider inside her ear canal. Number 9. The intestines are actually covered by a double fleece of peritoneum, much like a film. If your intestines get damaged for whatever reason, this film begins to start moving out of itself and crawling upwards towards the place which has the injury. It will stay there until the injury is recovered, and then move on once again. Number 10. The human body is constantly emitting heat. In fact, the heat you generate in just 30 minutes is enough to boil a half gallon of water. This is because the body must maintain a core temperature of around 37 degrees Celsius, and in doing so, it releases a tremendous amount of thermal energy. This heat can be felt in the warmth of your skin or the steam of your breath on a cold day. If this energy could be harnessed, it could theoretically power small electrical devices. Number 11. Your skin is constantly regenerating. You shed about 500 million skin cells every day, which adds up to about 1.5 pounds of dead skin each year. In fact, most of the dust in your home is made up of these dead skin cells. Over the course of a month, you'll shed enough skin to cover your entire body again, meaning you're essentially growing a new outer layer of yourself every 30 days. Number 12. An interesting fact for you tattoo enthusiasts. When you get laser tattoo removal, the ink doesn't disappear, you pee it out. Your body's immune system breaks down the pigments of ink, and it flows in your bloodstream. This proceeds to get processed through your kidneys, then you pee out the ink. Number 13. Known as the hum, this strange, persistent, low-frequency noise has been reported in many parts of the world. Some people describe it as a constant droning or buzzing sound that they can't escape, even when they plug their ears. No scientific explanation has been found, and in some cases it's only heard by a small number of people in a particular area. The phenomenon is so distressing for some that they move away from their homes in search of silence, yet the sound seems to follow them. Number 14. Your intestines know what shape they are meant to be in, and can actually just move themselves, which means gut surgeons can just stuff them back into you when they're done, and they'll sort themselves out. Number 15. If you were to die in water, your body would decompose much more rapidly than on land. Water accelerates the breakdown of tissues due to increased bacterial activity and moisture. In warm waters, decomposition can be so fast that a body may be unrecognizable in just a few days. What's even more unsettling is that bodies can float for a time, but once the gases produced by decomposition escape, they will sink, only to resurface later in a more advanced state of decay. Number 16. Old dolls, particularly those with glass or porcelain eyes, can exhibit some unsettling behavior. Over time, the mechanisms inside them can degrade, causing their eyes to open and close seemingly at random. Some dolls have even been known to shift positions due to temperature changes or the aging of their materials. While it's usually just physics at play, the sight of a doll's eyes flicking open in the middle of the night is undeniably creepy. Number 17. When a person dies, the process of decomposition causes gases to build up inside the body. In some cases, this gas pressure can cause the body to move, including making it appear as though the corpse is sitting up. This is most common in individuals who have died in an upright or semi-upright position, and it has fueled many myths about bodies waking up after death. Number 18. Babies eat the lanugo, which is known as the fetus's hair, that they shed while in the womb. This builds up within them to form the substance that makes up their first poop, known as meconium. Number 19. There's a persistent myth that hair and fingernails continue to grow after death. While it might seem that way, it's actually an illusion. After death, the skin around the nails and hair retracts as the body dehydrates, making it appear as though they've grown. In reality, no cellular growth is occurring after death, but the effect is eerie nonetheless. Number 20. The brain will almost always try to ensure its own survival. If knocking you out does so, then you will faint for the safety of your brain. Number 21. Toxoplasmosis is a parasite that can infect humans, primarily through contact with cat feces. What's particularly creepy is that this parasite has the ability to influence human behavior. Studies have shown that individuals infected with Toxoplasma gondii are more likely to engage in risky behavior, have slower reaction times, and even have altered personalities. It's theorized that the parasite evolved this way to increase its chances of transmission. Number 22. During sleep exhaustion, the brain gets to such a severe point that things start breaking down. The brain will basically put you into a microsleep to help protect itself. Number 23. When a person loses a limb, they often experience phantom limb syndrome, where they can still feel sensations, including pain, in the missing limb. The brain continues to send signals to the lost limb as if it were still there. Some people report that their phantom limbs itch, tingle, or even hurt. This phenomenon shows how deeply ingrained our physical selves are in the brain, and how the mind can be tricked even in the absence of reality. Number 24. The pain you feel from a sunburn is your skin cells effectively killing themselves before they mutate into cancer cells. Number 25. In really bad cases of endometriosis, the lining of the uterus can grow throughout the entire body. Colon, bladder, chest, even the head, brain in rare cases. It's incredibly painful since it still tries to shed like a normal period but has nowhere to go. Number 26. Prosopagnosia, also known as face blindness, is a condition where a person is unable to recognize faces, sometimes even their own reflection. People with this disorder often rely on other cues, like voice or clothing, to identify even their closest loved ones. It can be an isolating condition, as they may feel perpetually surrounded by strangers. Number 27. Human skin is overlaid with a pattern called Blaschko's lines, stripes covering the body from head to toe. The stripes run up and down your arms and legs and hug your torso. They wrap around the back of your head like a hood and across your face. You can see them under UV light. Number 28. Necrotizing fasciitis, also known as flesh-eating bacteria, is a rare but extremely deadly infection that can destroy skin, fat, and muscle tissue at an alarming rate. In just a few days, this bacteria can cause severe damage, leading to amputations or even death. The bacteria usually enter the body through a small cut or scrape, and the infection spreads quickly, often giving little warning before serious consequences arise. Number 29. It is believed that mitochondria within your cells were once separate living beings that were engulfed by another cell, but didn't die. Instead, they provided benefit to the engulfing cell. They are a separate being. Today, the human DNA has over 3 billion base pairs, while mitochondria only have roughly 16,000 of them. Number 30. The pancreas is able to secrete enzymes that digest food in a very effective manner. That may also mean that if the pancreatic enzymes happen to spill out into a place in your body where they're not supposed to be, they'll digest your insides. Number 31. Your brain is constantly scanning your environment for potential threats, even if you're not consciously aware of it. In fact, your body can react to dangers you can't see or consciously perceive, like a subtle change in temperature or the sound of an approaching predator. This is a remnant of our evolutionary past, where being attuned to such signals could mean the difference between life and death. Number 32. Sleep paralysis is a condition where a person wakes up but is unable to move or speak. This terrifying experience is often accompanied by hallucinations, such as feeling a presence in the room or seeing shadowy figures looming over the bed. Sleep paralysis has been reported throughout history, and many cultures associate it with paranormal activity, such as demons or evil spirits. While it's actually a neurological condition, it's still a deeply frightening experience. Number 33. The unique shape of your eyes naturally causes the images you see to appear upside down as they are projected onto the retina. However, your brain works continuously and efficiently to correct this by flipping the image right side up, allowing you to perceive the world correctly without even being aware of the process. This seamless coordination between your eyes and brain is a remarkable function of human vision, ensuring that your visual experience aligns with reality. Number 34. Before the advent of modern medicine, it wasn't always easy to tell if someone was truly dead. People who were in a coma or in a state of catalepsy were sometimes mistakenly pronounced dead and buried alive. This fear was so widespread that in the 19th century, safety coffins were designed with built-in bells or breathing tubes, just in case the deceased woke up underground. The thought of being conscious and trapped in a coffin, unable to escape, haunted the minds of many during this time. Number 35. Over the course of an average lifetime, a human will shed approximately 77 pounds of skin. You are shedding dead skin cells constantly, which adds up to a significant amount. Most of the dust in your home is composed of these dead skin cells, making it unsettling to think that your environment is full of tiny parts of you. Number 36. Your brain keeps you from feeling your very own organs. Number 37. In rare instances, a phenomenon called coffin birth can occur when a pregnant woman dies. Due to the buildup of gases during decomposition, the pressure can cause the fetus to be expelled from the body. Though it's a natural process after death, it has inspired horrific stories of corpses giving birth in the grave. This rare and disturbing event is a stark reminder of the biological processes that continue after death. Number 38. A female baby is born with all the eggs she will ever have during her lifetime. Number 37. A sloth's long nails are not actually nails. They're bones that protrude from the skin and are wrapped in a layer of keratin. Number 38. Some scientists believe the average person eats 5 grams of microplastics in 1 week. Number 39. There have been quite a few people who have died at the Grand Canyon because they thought it would be cool to take a pee over a ledge, only to then proceed to lose balance. Number 40. A rat king occurs when several rats become entangled by their tails, often due to sticky substances like sap or blood. The rats then become stuck together, forming a horrifying mass of tangled bodies that move as one. Rat kings have been found in various places, particularly in medieval times, and were often viewed as bad omens or signs of the plague. While rare, rat kings remain one of nature's most grotesque and baffling phenomena. Number 41. Spontaneous human combustion refers to the strange and controversial phenomenon where a living or recently deceased human body seems to catch fire without any external source of ignition. While no definitive explanation exists, there have been over 200 reported cases throughout history. In most instances, only the body is burned, leaving nearby objects relatively untouched. Skeptics suggest it may result from a chemical reaction in the body, but no one is entirely sure. Number 42. According to a 2017 study, there are over 250,000 deaths a year due to medical error. Number 43. You can suffer from a heart attack and die at any second because of a heart problem you never knew about. There's one condition called Brugada syndrome, which has no physical evidence, and most people aren't diagnosed with it until they drop down dead. Number 44. Bed bugs can actually survive for up to a year without feeding under the correct temperatures. As adults, the females can lay 300 eggs in their lifetimes. Number 45. Fir trees can actually grow inside human lungs. A 28-year-old patient called Artyom Sidorkin reportedly inhaled the seed of a fir tree, which had sprouted and then began to grow in his lung. Doctors thought they were dealing with a tumor and were shocked when they made the discovery. Number 46. There are roughly 40 supervolcanoes around the world capable of claiming up to 1 billion lives. We are also about 24,000 years overdue for an eruption. Number 47. Your own kitchen sink has more bacteria per square inch than your toilet seat. Number 48. In a practice called Sokushin Butsu, some Buddhist monks in Japan have attempted to achieve self-mummification. They would spend years on a strict diet of nuts, seeds, and resin, followed by drinking a toxic tea to help preserve their bodies from decay. Afterward, they would enter a tomb and meditate until death. The process was designed to bring about a form of spiritual immortality. Some of these mummified monks are still displayed in temples today, perfectly preserved in death. Number 49. Pineapples and kiwis contain bromelain, which is an enzyme that digests proteins. So while you're chewing the pineapple, you're washing your mouth with a chemical that in theory digests you. Number 50. While most organs start to deteriorate rapidly after death, the corneas, the transparent front part of the eyes, can survive up to several days. This makes them one of the most commonly donated tissues after death. The eyes remain eerily preserved even as the rest of the body begins to decay. Number 51. Chiropractors actually kill more people per year than sharks do. Number 52. There's a deadly amoeba called Naegleria fowleri that can enter the body through the nose when swimming in warm fresh water. Once inside, it travels to the brain and begins destroying brain tissue, leading to a condition called primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. The infection is almost always fatal, and what's truly terrifying is that it acts quickly, often causing death within just a few days. Though extremely rare, this brain-eating amoeba is one of the most terrifying pathogens known. Number 53. Sudden arrhythmic death syndrome is a condition where someone knowingly healthy dies suddenly with no apparent cause of death. Number 54. In one single kiss, over 80 million bacteria can be exchanged. Number 55. Certain animals, such as cats and dogs, are believed to have the ability to sense when someone is about to die. For example, there's a famous case of a cat named Oscar in a nursing home, who reportedly knew when a patient was close to death. He would curl up next to the individual's bed, and within hours, the person would pass away. Whether it's a heightened sense of smell or a deeper instinct, it's both fascinating and unsettling to think that animals might know when death is near. Number 56. You really only have about 6 minutes of life left. Every time you inhale, you reset that clock. Number 57. Botflies are a type of insect where their larvae burrow under your skin. Number 58. In one of the quietest rooms on Earth, located at Orfield Laboratories in Minnesota, people have reported experiencing auditory hallucinations after just a short time inside. The room is so silent that you can hear your own heartbeat, the blood circulating in your body, and even the sound of your bones moving. Most people can't last more than 45 minutes before becoming disoriented or panicked. Complete silence, it seems, is not something the human brain is designed to handle. Number 59. After death, the human body begins to break down, and gases build up inside the body's tissues. This can cause the body to bloat to nearly double its normal size, making it unrecognizable. The abdomen in particular becomes distended, and in some cases, the gases can cause the body to burst, releasing fluids and more gases into the surrounding environment. Number 60. Komodo dragons actually poison their victims and then follow them for hours on end before it becomes exhausted and poisoned. It would then proceed to tear it to shreds and then eat it alive. Number 61. A 3,000-year-old mummy can still have their original fingerprints. Number 62. The Lone Star tick, found in certain parts of the United States, carries a sugar molecule called alpha-gal. If you're bitten by one of these ticks, your body may develop an allergy to red meat, leading to severe allergic reactions when consuming beef, pork, or lamb. The allergy can last for years and sometimes never goes away, making it one of the strangest and most frustrating consequences of a simple insect bite. Number 63. Your eye has approximately the same proteins as an egg white does, and both do in fact react similarly to hydrochloric acid, which solidifies the usually liquid substances. Number 64. In the Victorian era, It was common to take post-mortem photographs of the deceased. Often, the bodies were posed to look as if they were still alive, with eyes painted open or seated in family portraits. These memento mori were meant to honor the dead and keep their memory alive. While it was a grieving practice at the time, looking at these photographs today can be unsettling, especially when it's hard to tell which family members are alive and which are not. Number 65. Though rare, some individuals claim to have memories of being born or early infancy. While most of us have no recollection before the age of 3 or 4 due to infantile amnesia, there have been documented cases of people recalling vivid details from the delivery room or their earliest days. Whether these are true memories or highly suggestive reconstructions, the idea that someone could remember their own birth is both fascinating and eerie. Number 66. Cotard's delusion is a rare psychiatric condition, severe cases of which cause the sufferer wholeheartedly believe they are dead, putrefying, or simply do not exist. Some Cotard's patients also refuse to eat, as they do not believe they need to, with one notable patient dying of starvation. Another woman once asked to be taken to a morgue to be with the other dead people. Number 67. When a person is electrocuted in the electric chair, they feel everything. They are fully aware of their bodies being fried as it happens in real time. One inmate who had survived the first round of electrocution had said it tasted like cold peanut butter. Number 68. Some treatments, such as chemotherapy, introduce chemicals into the body that can speed up decomposition after death. These chemicals can cause the body to break down more quickly, particularly in the presence of bacteria that thrive on these substances. This can result in a much faster decay than normal, a fact that morticians and forensic experts are well aware of. Number 69. The island of Okunoshima in the inland sea of Japan is also known as Rabbit Island, due to the overpopulation of rabbits living there. Number 70. Patchouli was used to cover up the smell of decaying flesh during the Black Plague. Number 71. Known as Takotsubo cardiomyopathy or broken heart syndrome, this condition is brought on by intense emotional or physical stress, causing the heart muscle to weaken. While it's rare, broken heart syndrome can be fatal, as it mimics the symptoms of a heart attack. It's a haunting reminder of how powerful emotions can be, so powerful that they can physically break your heart. Number 72. The ratio of blood to mass in a human body actually peaks before we are 8. A 6-year-old human has just as much blood in their body as an adult. Number 73. After death, human remains can be cremated, and the ashes turned into diamonds. The process involves extracting the carbon from the cremated remains and subjecting it to extreme pressure and heat to create a diamond. These memorial diamonds serve as eerie reminders that even after death, a person can be transformed into something enduring and beautiful, albeit in a morbid way. Number 74. People who have survived extreme conditions, such as mountaineers or explorers in life-threatening situations, often report the presence of an unseen companion who helps guide them to safety. This phenomenon, known as the third man syndrome, involves feeling or sensing another presence during times of distress, even though no one is physically there. Psychologists suggest it's the brain's way of coping with extreme stress. But to those who experience it, it feels very real and often eerie. Number 75. Astronomers have identified a force pulling all galaxies towards a single point. This is known as the dark flow. Number 76. In 2012, scientists had discovered over 1,400 new species of bacteria living in the belly button. Everyone's belly button ecology is unique. In that same study, one volunteer's belly button harbored bacteria strands that had only ever been found in soil from Japan, where this man had never laid foot. Number 77. Sleepwalking is a well-known phenomenon, but what's truly disturbing is how far people can go while in this altered state. Sleepwalkers have been known to drive cars, prepare meals, and even commit violent acts, all without any conscious awareness. In rare and extreme cases, people have committed murder while sleepwalking, with the legal defense being that they had no memory or intent of committing the crime. Number 78. Formaldehyde, the chemical commonly used in the embalming process, is naturally produced by your body in small amounts. This toxic substance is a byproduct of the metabolic process and is broken down quickly, but it's a bit eerie to think that your body is constantly producing a chemical associated with preserving the dead. Number 79. The human brain continues to give off electrical signals for 20 to 40 seconds after death. Number 80. Helium, which makes up 24% of our universe, is a non-renewable gas, and we are running out of it because it keeps escaping our atmosphere. Number 81. A condition known as Ainhum causes the skin around the base of a toe or finger to tighten and form a constricting band. Over time, the band becomes so tight that it cuts off blood flow, and eventually, the digit can fall off entirely. Though rare, this autoamputation process is a gruesome reminder of how the body can seemingly turn against itself. Number 82. Patients having colonoscopies are most commonly put under conscious sedation, meaning the anesthetic doesn't actually numb pain or even send you unconscious. They just impair your ability to form memories. You are awake and aware of the pain, you just don't remember it as such. Number 83. The legend of Bloody Mary, in which a ghostly figure appears in a mirror when her name is chanted, has a psychological explanation. When you stare into a mirror in dim lighting for an extended period, your brain starts to distort your reflection, leading to a phenomenon called the Troxler effect. This can cause you to see unsettling, distorted images in the mirror, which could explain why so many people claim to see the infamous Bloody Mary. Number 84. Tooth enamel is the hardest substance in your body, even stronger than bone. It has to be durable to withstand the forces of chewing and grinding, but it's not invincible. Once damaged, enamel doesn't regenerate, which is why cavities and tooth decay are permanent without dental intervention. The idea that you carry the hardest natural material in your body, inside your mouth, is intriguing but also eerie when you think about how easily it can be destroyed. Number 85. Horned lizards can squirt blood from their eyes as a defense mechanism, sometimes in excess of 5 feet. Number 86. Every time you blink, which is about 15 to 20 times per minute, your brain effectively turns off your vision. You're blind for approximately 10% of your waking hours, but you don't notice because your brain fills in the gaps. This phenomenon is called saccadic masking, and it's unsettling to realize that part of your everyday experience is a construction your brain makes up as you go. Number 87. In certain cases of severe burns, doctors perform skin grafts to replace damaged tissue. Sometimes, if the graft comes from a different part of the body, the skin can gradually change color to match the surrounding area. While this is a natural part of the healing process, it's unsettling to think that your skin can adapt and transform in such a way after injury, as if it has a mind of its own. Number 88. There is a condition commonly called Alice in Wonderland syndrome, where a person has episodes lasting from minutes to days of hallucinations, where everyday items appear to shrink and grow drastically. Nobody knows what causes it since it's extremely rare, and it often starts when the person is a child. Number 89. Those tiny moving specks or squiggly lines you see when you look at a bright light or the sky are called eye floaters. They are actually shadows cast by tiny clumps of protein or cells floating in the vitreous humor inside your eye. What's creepy is that these floaters are essentially remnants of your past, like debris left behind in the body, and there's nothing you can do to remove them. Number 90. There is a drug named DMT that consumers say can transport you to different realities. This drug, chemical, is also released in our brains when we are born, dream, and die. Number 91. The parasitic wasp, Hymenopommesis argyrophaga, lays its eggs inside the living caterpillars of the cinnabar moth. The larvae then consume the caterpillar from the inside out while it is still alive. Number 92. Many ancient cultures, including the Aztecs and Incas, practiced human sacrifice as part of religious rituals, believing it would appease their gods. Number 93. Across the world, people have discovered mysterious radio stations, broadcasting repetitive, often creepy messages. These number stations, which typically broadcast strings of numbers, words, or strange sounds, have been linked to espionage and spy activities, though no government has officially admitted their purpose. Despite decades of speculation, their true origins and purposes remain a chilling mystery. Number 94. In emergencies, people are less likely to help if others are present, believing someone else will intervene. This phenomenon was famously illustrated by the murder of Kitty Genovese in 1964. This is known as the bystander effect. Number 95. There's a long-standing urban legend about an arcade game from the 1980s called Phobias. According to the myth, the game was part of a government experiment in mind control. Players supposedly reported experiencing seizures, hallucinations, and amnesia after playing it. Though no hard evidence of the game has ever been found, the story has persisted for decades, feeding into fears of secret psychological experiments. Number 96. Some nuclear waste remains hazardous for thousands of years, and finding suitable long-term storage solutions is a significant global challenge. Number 97. Champagne corks kill more people each year than spiders do, globally. Spiders are about 40,000 times more prevalent. Number 98. Spiders don't chew. They instead inject digestive liquids directly into their victims, which digest them inside their own bodies, and then drink the liquefied result. Number 99. The first anti-smoking campaign in history actually came from Adolf Hitler. Number 100. Because of a woman's immune system, the chances of becoming pregnant at any given time of month are about 1 in 70 now. Number 101. When the human body begins to decay, it releases a distinct smell caused by the chemicals and gases produced during decomposition. These include cadaverine and putrescine, which are also responsible for the smell of rotting flesh. Forensic scientists and crime scene investigators are trained to recognize this unmistakable odor, which is often the first clue that a body has begun to decompose.